Hello guys, welcome to Red Band Alley. Now, this video is the final video at the end of the alley. So, you've seen it go from flat surface to 2D surface to 3D surface. So, we built all of the road. So, this is the road minus the road markings. The road markings are there, the road markings are here, but I haven't put them in there yet. But that's going to be like the final touch once I've actually assembled the whole entire world. But I'm thinking, when I was actually not doing this video, there's about 6 videos to the actual making of this. Now, in the making of it, I do show from scratch just in case like I tell you, just in case I make something that looks like someone else's, and to save all the drama and all the emails and all that. I think I'm going to build it from scratch, do a video log so you can get the side to kind of see the world. The whole entire surface, it's all 3D, everything. So all 3D bricks, 3D slabs. There's a physical gap in between the actual cracks. So if you're in the game world, it rains, the water can go down the cracks, it can go onto the road, it can go down the drain system, and if you go over here and look under the drain system, there's actually a physical sewer underneath not a sewer, there's actually a physical drain underneath the road right there. So if you get a rat basically and put it in the actual in the hole and then animate it, you're not going to see it obviously under here. So you can have it run across here. Now the drain goes the full length of my game world. There's a reason for that, because I've got like a little drone, it's not a drone, it's like a robot, that goes in the drain to clean the drains every now and then. Now, as the mouse runs through the drain, sometimes when the robot's in there, it's only a small robot, he just kind of goes in and clears out the actual drainway. It's not actually there for that. What it's there for, it's there to introduce you, because you've got the control pad in your hand, because you can see what's on the screen, you can see all sorts of creatures, hooly-goolies, werewolves, vampires, there's everything underneath the ground. So, yeah, that's what it's there for. It's not really for the rat, but the rat's just there, just for something else to look at while you're actually in the underworld. So I think, yeah, we haven't gone to the underworld yet. Now, after Red Band Alley, as you know, I'm making Emma's Workshop. I am making Emma's Workshop, and I'm still building that. Over here is the subway station toilets. I'm in the process of making that. Over here is subway staircase number, I want to call it number 2. It's not really, it's kind of staircase number 1, because it's the very first one next to Red Band Alley. But really, it's not the first one, because there's another set of staircase over here. So I think, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have the staircase here, and over this side, because the stairs took me a good hour and a half to make that. They didn't come out pretty great, but I need to make a lift for Red Band Alley's subway toilets, just to make life a bit easier for myself. And not only that, if you do watch the videos, the all 6 videos to this, yeah, I apologise for kind of getting a bit stressed with myself, because yeah, the blender thing kept crashing. I want to show you the geometry. If you look at the geometry, it's all facing the correct way. I like to show the geometry because when I uploaded to some websites say, "Oh, by the way, Mr. Bubblebox, did you know your geometry back to front?" I think, I don't think so. It's absolutely perfect. So if you look at it, it's perfect. Now, obviously, whether it's the right scale, that's a different matter. It's the scale of my world. So if you look at the level, it's only 904.401 in triangles down here. Now, Blender really, honestly, if I load all that into Blender, now if you look at it here, it's not very big. Let's say almost like just over 2 gig, just 2.5 gig thereabout. I'm thinking, if I load that into Blender, I'm not saying it's Blender, it could be the computer, but I'm thinking, if I load this into the actual Blender software, as you can see, Windows itself could be absolutely perfect. But when I load it into Blender, just to move a fraction like that, it will take about 10 minutes. I'm thinking, come on, Blender, sort it out. So anyway, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to say anything bad about Blender. I'm just saying, how come it doesn't move like that in Blender? It just doesn't. I'm thinking, okay. So I'm thinking, anyway, this is Red Band Alley. So I'm going to upload this now to Sketchfab. I'm going to upload it to Mega Cloud if you want it. So if you want to download the whole entire plot like this, as I said, all my plots, I'll go back in here and show you. Now, if you go down to grid, I should be able to see the grid. Let's turn triangles on, vertices, not that. We don't want that. I want the grid. So turn the grid on. You see the grid on the floor. Now, this is the window grid, window 10 window grid. Notice how it's 4 squares. If you look at Blender plane, you see how it's 4 squares. All the planes that I've in Blender with windows, they're all 10 by 10 squares. I think it's perfect. If I build my entire world, my entire level, my entire plot, basically in one Blender square, I can basically just attach all the worlds to it as you progress through the world. So the idea of my game world is, let's say you can see the whole edge of this square. I need to load every single square. Look, every 4 squares is basically a plot of land, a building site, a factory, doesn't matter, a warehouse. So I need to basically load. This is going to be my maximum amount of memory that I'm going to allow that the character can see at any one time. So don't forget, she's not that big, so she's going to be inside here. So the outside that is going to be, yeah, not pretty big, but it's going to look pretty far. So I'm thinking, and because she's only small, it's going to take her a little while to get there. So I'm thinking, great. So I'm thinking, once she goes past the boundary, or past this boundary, past this one, or past the other one, or maybe she goes past the top boundary, it doesn't matter where she goes. Whatever's beyond, whatever's over there, you're not going to be able to see it because the buildings are going to be in the way. So even though you might think, oh yeah, over there is the subway's here. But let's say it was over here on this plot. Once you go from this world to that world, this world doesn't load anymore. It's not actually physically there. So you won't be able to tell. You won't be able to tell the difference. Not unless you're actually flying in the sky. And then you say, hang on a minute. The world's not very big. But yeah, you can go up in the sky. You can. But I've kind of done the level in a kind of way where it looks like, let's say the whole plot is all there, but that's just the illusion. The only plot that's going to be there is whichever plot you land on. So once you land the plane, let's say you fly to the sky and you see Red Band Alley, you can land the plane, let's say Red Band Alley, you can't, but let's say you could do that. Once you land, everything else on the outside basically will just disappear like magic. So anyway, that's how I'm going to do my level, because as I said, the computer's a little bit stressed loading the model. So anyway, this is Red Band Alley at the moment. So Red Band Alley videos at the moment, apart from the house, I haven't showed you the house yet. The house itself is separate to the floor, again for the same reason as the floor. If I put the house on top of here, because of all the geometry, the furniture and everything else that goes in it, yeah, you just can't cope with it. It's just too much. Of course, nobody really kind of makes a complete entire 3D game like this. Of course, I'm not making it all 3D because I'm missing out all of the main parts. You know, I'm only keeping the surface. Anything you can see, I'm actually modeling it. Anything you can't see, I'm going to leave there. There's no point modeling it. There's really not. So I'm thinking, okay, so I'm not going to model it. I'm really not. So I'm thinking, so all of the house part will be like a separate plot. So when you put it into the game world, it's going to be basically like kind of drag and drop, basically, and then you just kind of move it along, snap it, and it will just snap back to the base, and everything will just work lovely and great. So the content, the idea of the content in the first place is, one, to keep it a Blender square, so it's easy to use. Have it all so it snaps together, just in case a younger generation wants to basically go around and make a level. Maybe you don't want this level, maybe it's not good enough, maybe you don't like it. But I think for a starting point for any game, I think it's great for it's great to put in your video, put on your website, and kind of just test your character, like walking around the street, maybe walking down the stairs, maybe jumping off the platform, climbing over the fence. As I said, it's like a training ground, basically. That's what it is at the moment. So as I said, if you want the videos, the links are under the video. So as I said, you're going to get the whole thing like this, it's a thingy folder, a GLIP folder. So if you go into Windows itself, if you go to GLIP, these ones here, look, the GLIP folders. So as I said, Window only gives you one option. So when you get it, all you're going to get is that thing there, just that. Everything you see here is inside that, everything. So anything I give you, animation, sound, textures, everything is all inside that. So open Blender, load in the GLIP file, and you can take a look around Red Band Alley. So this is going to be basically like your very first platform I'm going to give you to kind of mess around in the game world. Of course, you can upload it directly like this, just drag and drop it into CryEngine, into Unreal Engine, throw it in there, and you can basically, if you put it in Unreal Engine, you can take the avatar, the robot, and basically stick it on the road, and you can kind of run around, run badly. Now, if you kind of do that, you'll kind of get the idea of how the game works and how the game plays. That's exactly more or less how my game will play out. So anyway, as I said, thanks very much for watching my videos. I really truly appreciate it, I really do. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and if you are one of my subscribers, I'm going to say thank you very much to each and every one of you. I really truly do appreciate it, I really do, and thank you very much. As you say, keep it friendly, stay safe, see you soon, bye.